The current economic climate is tough for many. These pressures can be overwhelming with skyrocketing credit card debt, high grocery prices, and home ownership seeming out of reach. I'm currently creating several financial videos. Please check these videos out because I share strategies that have helped me manage these challenges and reduce stress. Financial health isn't just about money. It's about improving your overall quality of life. Wise money management, avoiding debt, and planning for the future can help you feel more in control and less stressed. A stable financial situation can positively impact your mental and physical health, bringing you greater peace and focus. I hope these videos inspire you to take control of your financial well-being and lead a happier, healthier life. Remember, what works for me may not work for everyone, so do your research to find what suits you best. Have you ever wondered why your budgeting efforts seem to fall short despite your best intentions? It's a question that's crossed many minds, and the answer often lies in common budgeting mistakes we all tend to make. These errors can cause unnecessary financial stress and potentially derail your journey towards achieving your financial goals. Understanding these mistakes is the first step towards effective money management. From underestimating expenses to forgetting about those pesky irregular bills, these pitfalls can quickly turn a well-intentioned budget into a financial mess. But don't fret, these missteps are all part of the process and can be easily corrected once identified. So let's shine a light on these common budgeting blunders. Because when it comes to managing your money, knowledge is power. And with the right information, you can transform your budgeting strategy from a source of stress into a tool for financial success. Stay tuned as we explore the top 5 budgeting mistakes you're likely making and how to fix them. After watching this entire video and feeling ready to take control of your finances and create a brighter future, head to the video description below. There, you'll find links to more videos packed with tips and strategies to help you budget, save, and plan for the life you deserve. These resources are designed to empower you with the tools and hope to start improving your financial situation today. The first common mistake is not tracking your spending. It's like driving a car with your eyes closed. You're bound to hit something sooner or later. When you're not keeping track of where your money is going, you can easily find yourself overspending without even realizing it. This can lead to financial difficulties that could have been avoided with a bit of diligence. Now you might be thinking, but tracking every penny sounds like a lot of work, and you're not wrong. But thankfully, we live in a time where there are more tools and resources than ever before to make this task easier. There are countless apps and software options that can help you keep tabs on your spending, many of which can be linked directly to your bank account for real-time updates. These tools can categorize your spending, show you where your money is going, and even alert you when you're nearing your budget limit. But tracking your spending isn't just about avoiding overspending. It's also about understanding your habits and identifying areas where you might be able to save. Maybe you didn't realize just how much you were spending on takeout each month, or perhaps those morning coffee runs are adding up more than you thought. By tracking your spending, you can make informed decisions about where to cut back and how to allocate your funds more effectively. And remember, this isn't about making massive changes overnight. It's about small, incremental improvements that can make a big difference over time. Start by tracking your spending for a month and see what you discover. You might be surprised at what you learn about your spending habits. Remember, what gets measured gets managed. So take the reins of your financial journey and start tracking your spending today. The second budgeting error is setting unrealistic financial goals. It's like planning to run a marathon without any prior training. Sure, it sounds impressive, but without the right preparation, it's a recipe for disappointment. When it comes to budgeting, setting goals that are too ambitious can lead to frustration, and eventually, you might abandon the budget altogether. You might aspire to save half of your income each month, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, this goal might not be feasible. Instead, it's important to set realistic, achievable financial goals. Now, you might be wondering, how do I set realistic financial goals? The first step is to understand your current financial situation. Know your income, your expenses, and where your money is going. Once you have a clear picture, you can start setting goals that align with your financial capabilities. For instance, instead of aiming to save half your income, start with a smaller percentage. Even saving just 5% of your income each month can make a big difference in the long run. And as you get comfortable with this, you can gradually increase your savings goal. Remember, the key to successful budgeting is consistency and patience. It's not about making drastic changes overnight, but rather making small, sustainable changes over time. So don't set yourself up for failure by planning to climb Mount Everest on your first hiking trip. Start with a small hill and gradually work your way up. Set yourself up for success by setting achievable financial goals. The third budgeting blunder is ignoring irregular and one-time expenses. This is a mistake that can really throw a wrench into your financial plans. You see, many people create budgets based on their regular monthly expenses like rent, groceries, utilities, and subscriptions. But what about those expenses that don't occur every month? For instance, let's think about your car's annual maintenance or the yearly premium on your life insurance. These are not monthly expenses, but they are still very real and should be accounted for in your budget. And then there are one-time expenses. Maybe you need to buy a new laptop because your old one crashed, or perhaps you decide to take a spontaneous weekend getaway. These expenses can also derail your budget if you haven't planned for them. So, how do you avoid this budgeting pitfall? The key is to anticipate these costs and include them in your budget. You can start by making a list of all the irregular expenses you can think of that might come up throughout the year. Divide the total cost by 12 to get a monthly amount and include this in your budget. For one-time expenses, it's a good idea to have a separate savings fund. That way, when these costs arise, you can cover them without disrupting your regular budget. In essence, a well-rounded budget is more than just your monthly bills. It's a financial plan that takes into account all potential expenses, both regular and irregular. Remember, a budget is a living document that must accommodate all expenses, not just the regular ones. As I'm just starting on YouTube, your support would mean everything to me as I grow this channel and bring you more valuable content. If this video has been helpful or inspiring, I would appreciate it if you could like, share, and subscribe. Each new subscriber helps me reach more people who could benefit from these tips, and your support enables me to keep creating videos that focus on improving financial health and overall well-being. Thank you for being part of this exciting journey. Now, let's get back into the video. The fourth budgeting mistake is not accounting for fun expenses. It's easy to get so wrapped up in the serious business of budgeting that you forget to include a little wiggle room for enjoyment. But here's the twist. Not planning for fun can actually sabotage your budget. Here's why. When you exclude fun from your budget, you're setting yourself up for a case of budget burnout. You might stick to your strict budget for a while, but sooner or later, the urge for a little enjoyment might become too strong to resist. And when that happens, you may find yourself overspending and blowing your budget all at once. So, how do you avoid this? The key is to include discretionary spending in your budget. This doesn't mean you should go on a spending spree. Rather, it's about setting aside a reasonable amount for leisure activities. This could be anything from a night out with friends, a new book, or even a vacation. Think of it as your personal reward for sticking to your budget. By giving yourself permission to spend on enjoyable activities, you're more likely to stick to your budget in the long run. Plus, it allows for a healthier relationship with money, where you're in control, not your budget. Remember, successful budgeting isn't about depriving yourself of all enjoyment. Quite the contrary. It's about making smarter choices so you can enjoy your money in a way that aligns with your financial goals. Budgeting doesn't mean you can't have fun. It's all about balance. The fifth and final common mistake is giving up after a budgeting failure. We all know it's disheartening when things don't go as planned, but let's reframe our perspective. Instead of viewing a budget blunder as a total catastrophe, see it as a learning curve. A setback is not a stop sign, it's a detour. It's an opportunity for you to reassess your budgeting strategy, identify where you went wrong, and make improvements. Remember, budgeting is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about making better decisions today than we did yesterday. So if you overspent on takeout this month or forgot to account for that annual gym membership fee, don't throw in the towel. Take a deep breath, recalibrate, and get back on track. Your financial journey is unique, and it's okay if it's not a straight line. The key is to keep going, learn from your mistakes, adapt, and continue to strive towards your financial goals. Remember, budgeting is a process. It's okay to stumble, just don't stop. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, tips, or personal experiences related to managing finances, drop a comment below. Your thoughts and insights can really help others in our community. Plus, I'm always excited to read your feedback and suggestions for future videos. So, those were the top 5 budgeting mistakes and how to avoid them. Let's quickly recap. Not tracking spending can lead to unexpected shortfalls, while setting unrealistic goals can result in frustration and budget abandonment. Ignoring irregular and one-time expenses can cause sudden financial stress, and not accounting for fun can lead to overspending or a lack of motivation to stick to your budget. Lastly, giving up after a budgeting failure can prevent you from learning and improving. These are all common pitfalls, but with awareness and proactive planning, they can be effectively avoided. Remember, the key to successful budgeting is diligence, flexibility, and a proactive approach. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more financial tips. Also, check out the links in the description for more information. Remember, budgeting doesn't have to be hard. You just need to avoid these common mistakes.